There are people that are calling, without going to some specifics, there are people that are calling for a suspension of implementation to avoid a bit of chaos on January the 1st. Is that a valid call from where you sit?
Yeah, so I think, I'll also tell you that even before this alleged alteration issue came up, there are people who have been calling for suspension. There are people who have been saying no to the reform, we cannot do it for whatever reasons. The biggest issue we've had to deal with and that we're still dealing with has been misinformation. Now, if you speak to the legal provisions and who has the powers, even if we want to postpone the implementation of the law, it has to be the lawmakers. That's far beyond my pay grade. So that decision has to be made, and I believe that decision for them will be a function of what their findings from this investigation reveal. But just to put it very clearly to the Nigerian people, what some people have done is to have recruited unsuspecting Nigerians to fight the reform that is meant to benefit the generality of the people, and by creating fear. So what is the cost of delay? What is the cost of not going ahead 1st of January? What is the cost of suspending it or not going ahead with the reform? It will mean simply that we continue with the status quo, which is that the bottom 98% of workers remain overtaxed. Small businesses miss out on exemptions, so they continue to pay multiple taxes and high tax burden. Large firms continue with their multiple and nuisance taxes. Right? Minimum taxes continue to apply on low-income earners and small businesses and on profitable businesses. Hidden VAT continue to make the prices of basic consumption like food, healthcare, and education to go up. And then the wasteful, distortionary incentive that we have that is distorting the economy will continue. So we need to be clear about what we're asking for. That's why I keep saying that even if it's established that there have been substantial alterations to what the National Assembly passed, my view would be identify those provisions, and those provisions, of course, mean they're not part of the law. So you then go ahead and implement the law as passed by the National Assembly while you address those issues as to how did they get in there and what should we do. I'll say to you, even just looking at the things that were passed by the National Assembly, the areas where even my committee, we've noted areas where we need to go back, of course, through Mr. President, to request for amendment to those laws, because there were issues to do with referencing, issues of definition. You may be aware, like small business, for example, is defined in two of the new laws, and the definition is different. So, like, if you are defining a small business, why don't you just define it in one way so people are not confused? So those issues already require some intervention from the lawmakers. And for us, we'll be taking advantage of this process, depending on what the lawmakers decide, to then make those corrections.
Hello, everyone. Oh, Lord have mercy. I think Taiwo Oyedele actually thinks Nigerians are fools, or he doesn't rate our intelligence at all, or he has reached a place where integrity means nothing to him. Character means nothing to him. So he's ready to, lose it all for him to defend whatever he's defending. And I don't know what the gain is for him, whether it's in terms of financial gains, publicity gain, is it loyalty gain, or whatever. I don't go. Literally, this man has gone on to talk about the exact opposite of what he has always, has stood for. But just to look at this, and I'm going to look at a tweet from Imran Mohammed, who says, Chairman of the Presidential Fiscal Policy and Tax Reforms Committee, Taiwo Oyedele, on the controversy over the new tax laws. He says, before you can say there's a difference between what was gazetted and what was passed, we have what has not been gazetted. We don't have what was passed. The official harmonized bill certified by the clerk with the National Assembly said to the president, we don't have a copy to compare. Only the lawmakers can say authoritatively what was said. It could be the harmonized version certified by the clerk. It should be the harmonized version certified by the clerk. Even me, I cannot say that I have it. I only have what was presented to his president to sign. what was circulating and also widely reported by a lot of media organizations is actually fake. He goes on to say this is fake, but he doesn't have the the copy. So which one is fake? How do you know which of the media this thing is fake? It's just unbelievable. And the most heinous people in Nigeria are not actually the corrupt politicians who are destroying the country. It's actually the intellectuals who will use English to support anything. They are the ones that are always used to defend nonsense, put up nonsense out there. And they come with this, pseudo intellect that is, I mean, intellect without integrity is actually a disaster. Yeah, it is a disaster. Arewa source said, when you start hearing fancy English like this coming from Tinubu administration and his cronies, just know that you're about to be scammed. You don't know the content. And then Obioma Onwuka said, you don't know the content. You don't have it. You are shifting blame to the National Assembly, but you are getting countdown from your agency daily. If it took you days to come up with these excuses, then do better. Nigerians demand to see the harmonized and gazetted copies. There was even someone that was saying there's nothing like, a gazetted copy is a gazetted copy. There's no like, gazette, like what he was alluding to. There's nothing like, a gazetted copy that is not, how do I put it now? A gazetted copy that is not fully the gazetted one, but is a draft gazetted one. There is nothing, like that. And this is someone that all of this issue, it took him a very long time. This is someone that was jumping on media from media to media, talking about this tax law and everything. It took him this long to come up with these very feeble excuses that he has put out there that has no respect for the intellect of the people. And it's just crazy. Great Sentinel said, when the man overseeing tax reform says the speculative version is fake, but also admits he doesn't have the official harmonized bill, that's not reassurance, that's chaos. Nigerians deserve clarity, not confusion. And when your inside does not match your outside, when you know you're lying, your inside knows you're lying, even though you're pretending to the world that you're not lying. And so you see things to just start coming out, anyhow. They just get out of hand and just go crazy. The government should encourage Nigerians to pay their taxes by transparently publishing the full details and clauses, if any. The last timing the government needs now is distrust from the masses. Why should Nigerians trust you, a man that couldn't simply keep record of the versions of the law you're proposing with their taxes? They should at least do us the courtesy of letting us know when they're finished deceiving themselves. The matter wasn't escalated on social media. It was the House of Assembly. I think he meant House of Representatives that blew it into a full-blown issue. So what exactly do you mean by calling the social media version fake? Not everyone is under their jujus, but so that's the thing. It wasn't as if some people came. It was a lawmaker that was part of the process that came out to even say, hey, what is being gazetted is different from what he had read. He had put his everything on and he has passed. And you're seeing these people just talking, anyhow, just insulting our sensibilities. No, Allah. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.